It's that time. It's SJPORR beer review time. Oh yes. And I'm excited because this one is my nephew's beer. Nothing like nepotism in the world. Meaning he wanted his beer reviewed 2 weeks ago and that didn't quite happen. But I did put him up next. I'm honest about it. But maybe I should have reviewed it sooner. It is an IPA. Okay, I'm not gonna split hairs between IPAs and APAs when it comes to American beers because really I have had some amazingly hoppy American pale ales that in my book really should be IPAs. But here's the schedule, and this is for people that don't have this printout, weren't part of the whole contest. This is of interest. There's 1 ounce of Chinook and 1 ounce of Willamette at 60 minutes in the boil. Then he had 1 ounce of Willamette and 1 ounce of Centennial at 15 minutes. And this is how you're getting IBUs down. Put it late in the schedule. Then he added another ounce of Centennial at 10 minutes. And then he had 2 ounces of Centennial in dry hop. So how are we counting this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ounces of hops. Just all late or dry hop. So then here you go. Here is the awesome, this is gonna go on my shelf, the Nefarious Degenerate IPA from ManBearPig. I love it. I just love it. Hoover Home Brews. Awesome. All right. Nefarious, extremely wicked or villainous, iniquitous. He's not really nefarious. We're gonna get this going. All right. Yeah, I probably poured this fairly gently. So in all fairness, yeah, we only got a ring of a head, not much of a head. Although I can see bubbles rising off the bottom. I don't know if you get that. The color on this is a dark amber and has a little bit of an orange side to it, I'd say. Almost slightly burnt orange, but it's on the darker side, which is interesting. But then we have so many interesting base malts in there. So we're not going to get a lot of points for head anyway. Let's get a nose on this one. Yeah, there is no mistaking all the Centennial hops in this. There's just loads of Centennial, and I can tell they're pellet hops, quite frankly. But yeah, there's a lot of it in there. Getting a lot, I mean just a load of the floral hops. It's not springing out a lot as specific fruits per se, if you ask me. All right, well, let's get a taste on this. Wow, has a very, like a very dank type flavor, kind of earthy and herbal flavors in that. And it's interesting, yeah, it's really not very bitter because although you had 2 ounces of hops in bittering, you had the Chinook, which yeah, that can do a bit for bittering, but the Willamette is not quite, you know, a big bittering hop at all, obviously. And the Willamette hops bring in a lot more of those earthy and floral flavors. So that's no big surprise either. All right, here we go. I have to get context of what I'm about to do here. Josh likes me being tough on his beers or just spill it out. And it's not exactly my style for homebrew. And I like tasting, being moderate but honest, and give my ideas or input on what might improve or make it better. And that's, of course, according to my taste. All right, Josh, here we go. You've got Chinook and you've got Willamette in there. Chinook is known for, you know, like spicy, light pine, light grapefruit, but but you're not going to get most of those qualities, and you just have it at the very beginning at 60 at the beginning, because at the boiling it's just going to really do bittering. So unless you put Chinook at the end, you're not going to pick up your, as much of those qualities. The next things you did, you had Willamette at 60 and you had Willamette at 15. Now the 15, you're going to pick up some of it, not so much the aromatics, but you're going to get some of the flavors. Willamette's kind of like does fruit and a generic fruit, earthy and spice. Now remember, you just did your Chinook, which brings in spicy, piney grapefruit. Now you're bringing this in, which is like earthy. Okay. Then what do? You bring in Centennial, right? I mean, and Centennial is again kind of more on the mild side. It's like flowers and citrus. Not a specific citrus though, it's just a generic citrus, and flowers, so kind of brings in the floral. All of these have more of a spicy component and a generic citrus components to them, generic floral components. So pretty much all of the hops that you used brought in the same kind of category of characteristics. And from my perspective, that doesn't create layers, so you don't create layers of flavor with the beer. So this is where your uncle will be tough, because you like him being tough. And so, all right, I'm going to give you ideas of what maybe I would consider as options to add in or do some substitutions. The first one I would think of would be Cascade, because it blends well with all those. Cascade is known for like the flowers, citrus, and spice, which what your others do, but it also brings in a very distinct grapefruit. So at least you could have matched those, but brought in some distinct grapefruit flavor. But I'd love to have seen something like Citra that brings in like the melons, the grapefruit, lime. It brings in pineapple and mango flavors. I mean, so you get some tropical. So now you got some variants there. Or maybe another option would be Simcoe, which is like passion fruit, apricot, and citrus again. But bring in some stuff that can create some layers in your flavors, instead of hops that in varying degrees do basically the same thing. That's just my perspective. So that's your uncle being tough. You asked for it. You got it. Having said that, it's a nice beer. It's very cohesive. I just think the hops are kind of level. I'm not getting as much variety that I like on there. I'd say that the carbonation is spot on. All right, so let's try to rate this best we can. So my first category, basically, we're going with head retention, carbonation, mouthfeel. Well, we know what the base was, so there's no way around it. It's going to kind of be more of a medium body mouthfeel. So no problem there. That's spot on. That's just what it's going to be. You kept it to a lighter side. That's awesome. The carbonation is really good. Unfortunately, the head retention wasn't there. Color's good, unexpected with the grains that we had. So in that category, I think I got to give you about a 7 on that, because you had good carbonation. You could have maybe added something for the head retention, like carapils and or torrefied wheat, or both. Aroma. Well, it's not a bad aroma. I mean, it's very earthy. It's definitely spicy, and you've got so many hops that bring in spicy aromas. Very tea-like. So in that sense, it's nice. I would love to have had, like I had, say, some fruit, some distinct fruit flavors pulling through. Would have really made all the difference in the world. It's a nice aroma. I'm giving it an 8 on aroma. I do like the aroma. It's pretty good. It could have gotten a lift. All right, taste. I got to take another taste. It's not a bad taste. All in all, for me though, it's just too much of the same qualities in all the varying hops. It is very hoppy though. So for keeping it at 45 IBUs, you have loads of hop in there. So I have to jack up points for that. Take it down though for those layers of flavors that I would like to see in it. So again, that puts me right at about a 7 again. So that puts you at a 7.3 for an overall score. I don't know if that's what you want to hear, Josh, but you know your uncle gives it to you straight every time. And actually, I think it's about time you and I work on a recipe together, because I think that would be a frickin' load of fun. Anyway, here we go. This is beer number 3 of the SJPORR beer reviews, and I will see you soon. Oh, so soon. See ya.